Yo guys, how's it going? It's me, Arctic. Today we're going to be talking about some weapons for Rosaria. We basically got more information on her, so I'm just making a few videos talking about what weapons I think would be good, considering that she is probably going to be more of a burst kind of damage dealer or main DPS, depending on which and how much you invest in her kit, depending on what build you go for. So we're going to talk about a few options that I think are going to be extremely good with her constellations. And also some that I think would be better at C1 versus C4. So first up, Deathmatch is an extremely solid option, I think. Not necessarily as much since you use the Cryo character because you can run the Cryo set. However, that does open some opportunities to run like the Bloodstained set, which will actually give you more physical damage and also increase your auto attack damage, which I think would actually be pretty interesting, and I might actually try that out when I get Rosaria. So this further increases your attack also, which is going to be pretty good, considering she does scale off of attack percentage, and her base attack is pretty good for a 4-star at 240 at level 90. Weapons like the Crescent Pike are also a very good option. This one's definitely very popular, so that's definitely a plus. It also has a high base attack and also a physical damage bonus, so you can run a physical damage cup and also this weapon to get more physical damage. And also, since Rosaria's Constellation 4 is actually going to create some elemental particles basically whenever you trigger your E, and also your E is going to create particles. So basically what that's going to do is going to give you also an additional 20% attack damage along with your auto attacks for 5 seconds. This will be very good. You can stack that up to another thing. Also, since you're going to be running a lot of attack percent on her, this is actually going to be very good, considering that you're going to be getting lots of attack, and also this is going to increase more attacks. Prototype Starglitter is also the other craftable one. Now this one I think would be more suited for a support kind of burst DPS version of Rosaria, maybe if you wanted to go for some damage with some of her abilities and that kind of stuff. So basically this is going to give you energy recharge, and also after using her elemental skill, it's going to increase your normal and charged attack damage by 8%, up to 2 stacks. This is going to be good because one of Rosaria's constellations, I think C1, actually also boosts her normal attack damage, so this could be an interesting combo. However, if you are going more of main DPS, I think one of the other options would be a little bit better. Fevonius Lance is actually probably the one I'm most hyped about for, partially because it does have a little bit of energy recharge, so I think it will help out her energy consumption quite a bit, and also its passive right here is going to be extremely good for Rosaria, I think. So since you're building Rosaria probably around crit damage, not necessarily crit rate, considering her passives and her constellations actually yield to her crit rate, plus you can run Cryo set, it's going to increase your crit rate even more. So basically this is going to give you elemental particles every time you hit a crit, basically every 12 seconds. I have a refinement 2, so if you get up to refinement 5, it's 100% chance to create the particles, so very good for swapping off, and it can occur every 6 seconds. So basically you can have her on the field DPSing for like 3 seconds with her E and her autos a bit, and then charge up her ultimate, and then plop her ultimate down, and then basically start charging again after 6 seconds, which is going to be half of her ult's duration. So effectively you can probably get her ult up pretty fast, along with the energy recharge you're getting off of this weapon. Also, the Dragon Spine Spear will probably be a meh option. Like, it does give you a large amount of physical damage bonus, so it could be interesting with a physical damage build. However, its base attack is extremely low, and this will only give you like 454%, plus it doesn't really help you out with its passive as much. If they are affected by cryo, it does do 200% of attack damage, so if you do have a lot of attack percent, this could be just fine. But really, it's not giving you as much value as some of the other options we discussed. Okay, and so all of the 5-star weapons are probably going to be extremely good options just because they're 5 stars. However, I think probably the best one is actually going to be the Vortex Vanquisher. Now this one is going to increase your shield strength by 20%, so if you run this with a character like Diona, you're going to be getting even more shield strength onto Rosaria, increasing your survivability. And also, since you're going to be auto-attacking, it's also going to give you attacks of stacks. So you're going to be getting like 8% attack for every stack you get, and these last for like 8 seconds. So that's going to be very, very good, along with it having a high base attack at 608, and also a high attack percentage gain at 50% attack bonus. So that's going to be very, very good to pair up with, along with its passive that gives you just a lot of attack percentage. Then I think the second best option is going to be the Skyward Spine, partially because this has a very high base attack at 674, and it also comes with energy recharge, so this will basically negate your need to run energy recharge on her, I think. So this will give you like 36 energy recharge, which really is a lot considering her constellations and her talents are going to be creating lots of orbs. And the passive on this increases your crit rate by 8%, so that's going to be pretty good. This is going to be similar to the Royal Spear in terms of it increases your crit rate. However, this doesn't rely on not hitting crits, so you can basically just enjoy that extra crit rate. It's also going to increase your normal attack speed by 12%, which is actually a very large buff, especially if you also pair this with Animo Resonance, and I think her passive, to where at like nighttime increases her attack speed, I'm not sure. Also, her Constellation 1 also increases her attack speed by 10%. So effectively, you could be getting like 42% attack speed bonus on her just by running Animo Resonance, this weapon, and also her passive at C1. Passive Constellation at C1. And so normal and charge attacks on hit have a 50% chance to trigger a vacuum wave that deals 40% of attack as damage in a small AoE. So this is going to increase her AoE damage and also her DPS overall. And it can occur every 2 seconds, so that's going to be a pretty good DPS boost. The Staff of Homa I think will be okay. However, I'm not sure about her base HP. Like, this gives you attack bonus based on the base HP. However, I think this will be more so for if you run like Cryo Set. That could be pretty good. You can run Cryo Set because this has a crit damage scaling. So you could pretty much build her like a Ganyu in the sense of just crit damage main stat weapon, and then also a crit damage hat with a with like crit rate substats, that kind of stuff, and attack percentage. Yeah, you can make this spear work. But other than that, that's basically it for the weapons I would recommend for Rosaria right now. The Lithic Spear won't really work on her that well because she is from Mondstadt, so the Lithic Spear won't really work. But other than that, that's pretty much it for me. Remember to follow my channel. Also, I do have a Twitch that I stream on occasionally, and make sure to like the video. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.